Hey, station, everyone.
Station.
What is going on, everyone? I hope everyone's having a fantastic new comic book day. Today is new comic book day, like Christmas, every day, every week. I keep saying every day lately. Every week,
It seems like
Christmas.
every day.
It's like every day for
Right.
whoever gets their comics, whether you get it today, tomorrow, or the end of the week. Whenever you get it, happy new comic book day to you. I hope everyone's having a fantastic day, a fantastic Whiplash Wednesday, which we always talk about Whiplash Wednesday and how it starts before we get to the show. Of course, it always starts, but actually this week it started a little different with Mr. Chamorro Cinema, or the artist formerly known as Chamorro Cinema. uh, what you're reading, the definite origin story for the bat, which was pretty good. I comment on it, saw it, I got to see it, loved it. Good job, Manny. What does he call his channel? The Manny Perspective,
Many's
different.
different perspectives.
Manny's different perspectives, yeah.
Oh, there you go. Like, I still gotta get it's kind of long. It's like something's killing the children, or the man who went over there into the moon, or went out that
The
way.
man who went over there.
You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, so that, Manny, I love you, man. We support anything you do, and great videos. Glad you're still doing the videos and still participating here on Whiplash Wednesday. And of course, it doesn't stop there, because one of my favorite videos to watch, the Cadet sneak peek preview comics and toys for January 12th. He wasn't able to show the indies books on there. It was Marvel and DC, but there was a lot of those, so he got to show a lot
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah. Still a lot of comics.
Yeah, he might
Yeah.
show the indie stuff a little later in the week, or maybe he'll pop up on another one of my shows. Maybe, who knows? One of the halls. But that was an awesome show. I love seeing, but my favorite parts, of course, the toys. You know what I'm saying? When he show the figures and all that, and it makes me want everything. You know what I mean? And then my wife's like, "Stop watching that! Stop it!" You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, awesome video, Nick. Great job, like you always do. Of course, after that was chatting with the community, which that comic girl, Mars was in there. Great show.
Right.
Um, Anybody who hasn't watched it, watch it on a rewind. Those shows are always amazing. 37 of them already. TM Nerdy, Travis,
Wow.
great job. Yeah, I
Incredible.
remember when he first started. You know what I mean, with Bobby De La Ghetto.
Yeah,
You
man.
know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
right.
And then
Hmm.
Hardcore Station to Bobby. And yeah,
Yeah.
man. So that was Whiplash Wednesday. And then today, of course, let's talk about it. Remastered continues with this sort of top five. What did I call it?
Something,
I was
something.
uh comic book inspired video games. So these are like video games that were comic books first and became video games. The video games are inspired by the comic books. Um because we could go anywhere. There's so many games and all that came out movie first, then game, then
Yeah.
comic, or comic game. It goes backwards. So like when we had to do research for this, it was kind of a little difficult. You know, we got to make sure we get the right ones.
Yeah.
And of course, that one's segment is our guy Fable's baby right there. So we're gonna talk about it in a second. Um, what else? What else? What else? Of course, the return. Well, I keep saying the return. It's been like 4 episodes already, but I always like talking about it. And you guys know I love it. Let me take our logo out of that top for that way I can show it better, because everybody knows that is my favorite segment. Everybody knows that beautiful sight.
Show
Show
and
and tell. Show and tell will happen a little bit later. Ooh, beautiful sight. Ding. Love show and tell. You guys know I love that. I always love saying it like that. Like people just like if I don't show that in my show now, that people are like, what happened to the picture?
it
What
just
happened
doesn't
to your
feel it.
singing? You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like it's a part of it, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what we're gonna do today. It might be a shorter show. Emphasis on might, because these three guys here, they like to talk. You know what I'm saying?
Just a little bit.
Even just un chin chin, you know what I'm saying? That's a little bit in Spanish, un chin chin. But that's what we're gonna do today. Let's go to the chat first before we get to our segment. Because there's a lot of people. The chat was booming. So if I miss you guys, just comment again. Because for the right reason, once I start getting to the chat 7, 8 minutes in, all the beginning ones disappear because a lot of people, the chat's always booming, which I always appreciate. Nick Comic Culture Station, my man, great video earlier, like I said. And maybe we get a special appearance later from him. Maybe we won't. We'll see. But but he's like video games. I like that. You know what I mean? That's what he's talking about. Brother Joe is in the house. Uh, our other brother Taqi Station, my man. Big Steve, hip hop, and me.
Thanks, Steve. Station.
Station, man. Station. Hopefully we can get you on one of these shows one day. You know what I mean? Not just the Blame Fable show tonight, Blame Fable Tonight show. You know what I'm saying? Maybe on this show too. You know what I mean? Get you on here. We do whatever, man. We'll think about something. You know what I mean? Eric the Stash, another man I want on this show again. I'm gonna hunt you down till you finally come on my show, on our show. You know what I'm saying? Station to all you guys. Oh, Billy Paul Max.
Hell,
Most peaceful station of you, brother. Who else is in the house? Oh, Noggin Comments. Station, bro.
Station Noggin.
Girlfriend is bringing the comics home right now. Nice.
how you doing?
Mom, Station. Hello, Mom.
Hey,
There you go. Manny's different perspectives. I'm trying, Manny. I'm trying. I'm trying. There's a little tongue tie for me. All right.
Station, man.
Verno, what's up, buddy? We're planning a future project with Verno. Hopefully, we can have it on one of our shows too. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Everybody loves a clip. I did. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Verno on another podcast. I'm about my boys, the stars of the Let's Talk About It Remastered hashtag Blame Fable show tonight. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have them on my show soon. So tune into that, guys. Yeah. Station. Oh man. 62 Station.
Hey,
man. What's up, brother?
Station.
Man. Oh, Twitch in the house. Station, bro. What's going on?
Twitch, what up?
Twitch. We'll be seeing him in the Rock and Robbie Live those Sunday nights. We'll always appreciate you being on here for a little bit with us.
PCP Army right there.
Oh yeah. Steve says, absolutely. I need to reach out to y'all for you to come on ours as well. Let me know, and I'm down to be on. Heck yeah. Well, I'd love to be on that show too. We're gonna have to figure that out this year. We got a whole year to think about it. You know what I mean? But we don't want it to take the whole year. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm caught up. Oh, Chamorro Cinema. I can use this one, brother. No, use the other one so I could get used to that name. Use the other one.
Yeah, you gotta use the Manny's. Yeah,
gotta use the other one. Yeah. I want to get used to saying that. But I appreciate you, bro.
Subscriptions up on that one.
Yeah, man. Oh yeah, Fargate. You're gonna talk about John Romita Jr. Well, usually we talk news on the Blame Fable Tonight show, but if you guys want to talk about John Romita Jr. real quick, I don't know a whole lot about it. I heard he was gonna be on the Amazing Spider-Man in the future, like issue number 900, I think, or something like that. My feelings on that, like, I love John Romita Jr. and all that, and I love the old stuff. I fear is he's gonna be full-pledged doing Amazing Spider-Man, because his Superman stuff with Bendis, not like his work. You know what I mean? It's just, it was off.
I think he might be one of those artists who works better in Marvel. That's where he was for the longest time. That most of his career was Marvel, and he did that small stint at DC. But yeah, I know, I agree with you. It was not. Yeah, he's I want to say when's like even towards like 2010 when he did the Avengers stuff with Bendis. it was starting to head towards what it is now. But I don't know. Maybe this could be his comeback, because since he's so familiar with the Spidey universe and the characters and stuff like that, like maybe he'll be re-inspired to try different things. But yeah, it could go either way. It could be either a good thing, it could be meh.
Yeah,
But
I
I'm
hope.
excited a little bit.
He's a legend in the Spider-Man
Yeah,
world. You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
His father. I mean, come on. So, Twitch says he'll be on Amazing Spider-Man April. Sounds like it will be full time. Yes, that's what I want. If he's gonna do it full time. Put his full effort. Not doing any other projects. Because, like we said, that Superman was a little rough. The Superman one, and we know he can do better than that. He's a great artist. So yeah, thank you, Twitch. Because I knew it was. I just forgot what month. So it's before they hit 900. What 900? Am I getting that right? The
Yeah.
numbers. You guys know me and the numbers. 900. Yeah. So April will be way
That's in
before
April?
that. So yeah, that's in April. Yeah, he's
How
right.
many
Oh, okay.
how many issues did how was Spencer's run?
Spencer was well on the ASM was like what 84,
Okay,
not including the dot issues. So over
okay.
100. So
And so that how many issues is Beyond running right now?
I
Oh
don't
my
know how
God.
many issues they're into now, but I think it's 19 total before they
Okay,
get to the
Yeah.
new numbering. Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
That's
before they get to the
gonna be
big
good.
milestone. So yeah, so hopefully that comes out great. We love John Romita Jr. And of course, why not? And a couple of more people came in here real quick. Twitch, I got him in there. J Rails in the house station. Happy New
Hey,
Comic
shit.
Book Day. She had a fantastic show with
Oh yeah.
Gal Squad. Always amazing. Always amazing. I always end up at the end because I have to go to work. Like goddamn bills, you know what I mean? Got to pay the
Right.
bills. You know what I mean? Darn. Battle 66 Delta Station. Thanks for joining us. Totally appreciate it. Please just popping in.
Battle
Empire Comics Station. Inja Binja.
Station.
Another star of the show. You're not late. You are just in time.
Just in time.
Always. Yeah, always. I make sure. I don't think I missed anybody. Anybody I missed, just comment again. I'll get you in there. But last but not least, we're here. And Phable, you're gonna take it today. What are we talking about today? I keep forgetting. What are we talking about?
Well, first, thanks for joining us, guys. We love that you joined us tonight. Tonight is it's going to be a pretty fun thing that we're doing. We're doing our top 5 comic book inspired video games. So they can be comic book video games or video games that became comics. Who knows? Whatever. As long as there's comics involved in video games, we're doing our top 5 ones. And we're also going to throw in 2 honorable mentions because, as you know, making a top 5 comic book video games, I mean, they've been coming out with comic book video games since the Atari. That's in the 70s, guys.
Yeah.
So, totally hard to figure this list out. So we figured we throw in some mentions. So again, thanks for joining us. Should be fun. We can get right into it. You let me know, Herm, how you want to do it.
Let's go. Let's go. We could do the introduction real quick. If you want to talk about like some of the games, or we can just do the countdown. Whatever. We can start on whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let's go. Let's go right into it. Let's get right into number 5.
Number 5. So
Are we gonna just go around the horn?
yeah, we
I
could go
started
around the
off,
horn.
or
Yeah, start it
okay.
off.
All right. So my number 5, uh, comic book related video game is X-Men: The Arcade Game.
Mm-hmm.
Released by Konami, published by Konami in the arcades. X-Men the arcade game is just a classic beat 'em up, right? You have 4 X-Men, you can have up to 4 X-Men, and you go through these levels, and you're fighting Sentinels, and you're fighting all types of X-Men classic villains.
I love that game.
This was
Mm-hmm.
this was an arcade game that this was the first arcade game that I ever beat.
Wow.
I've never beaten an arcade game before. And this game, every time I saw it, I had to play it, right? I was one of those kids that was like, I'll put a couple of quarters in this thing, but I'm not spending too much money on this because I know how this works, right? I'm just gonna die and I gotta keep spending money, right? But this game, I just kept pumping quarters into quarter after quarter. And after $10 in quarters, I finally beat it with a couple of friends. So my number five, X-Men, the arcade game.
Nice. All right. So I guess I go next because we're going around. And yeah, I can't that X-Men arcade game, like you said, I'm pretty like surprised to say you went into the arcades and beat it with quarters. You know what I mean? That's not
Mm-hmm.
easy. I don't think I've
No.
beaten any game in the arcades. Nothing. Like I would die. And even if I get good with a game, I'll last there a little while. Then you have that other kid putting his quarter down and all that, and and making noise with it, making me nervous. Oh, I
Right.
couldn't stand those kids. But yeah, I could never beat any game. I think the closest thing I got was one of the wrestling games. I forgot the name of it. That Ultimate Warrior and all those. Oh, that was a great wrestler. I forgot the name of the game, but that's the only game I came
I
close,
think
but
it
I
was
lost.
Royal Rumble.
Yeah, Royal
Royal
Rumble. Yeah, I think
Rumble.
that's the
Yeah, I
one.
think it was Royal Rumble. Yeah.
That you could tag and all that. You got bring your friends and stuff like that. Ooh, I went so close. I lost in the championship game, championship match. But yeah, man. So that's a great game. Like I said, arcade X-Men arcade. I play that a lot. I mean, how
Absolutely.
could you not back in the day? My number five it's an arcadey type game. I picked the my favorite out of them. Um, Marvel versus Capcom 2. That's my favorite game. Of course, it started off with X-Men versus Street Fighter, which was mind blowing that you had two different kind of companies,
Yeah.
licenses going against each other. You got a Street Fighter versus freaking, you know, Marvel characters
X-Men.
into X-Men,
Oh yeah.
and because X-Men had their own game, and then Street Fighter had their own game, obviously, and they
Marvel Super.
joined them together, and it's like you would think like how could they make that work? Because you think of superpowers versus these fighters, great super fighters, but how does
Right.
that work? Well, of course, it's video games. It's like you say, it's comic books, it's video games, and they made it work. But with this Marvel versus Capcom, uh, which was part two of the first Marvel versus Capcom, they included all the Marvel characters, you know what I'm saying, including my man Spider-Man, you know what I mean? I had to like always play as Spider-Man. I always played Spider-Man and Ryu with my two
Nice.
tag team guys. So I would go Maximum Spider. You know how like he'll set up for the Maximum Spider
Classic.
and go
Yeah.
all over the screen. Then I'll
Yeah, man.
tag and do the Hadouken, Soryuken. I will I will beat people with that when it actually works. Cause sometimes when you're trying to do the dragon punch, sometimes it doesn't come out for you and stuff like that. But I don't forget what year it came out.
I think it
2006
was
or something.
2000.
2000. Oh, you're right.
Marvel's
You're right.
Capcom 2. Yeah.
Yeah. So damn, it's that long ago. Damn, I feel old.
Yeah. And
But
there's a famous Japanese artist. If you guys ever look him up, his name is Bengus. Bengus
oh
is one of the lead character designers at Capcom back in the 90s. And his artwork, I mean, you'll see it on Street Fighter,
Resident
you'll
Evil,
see it on
Parasite Eve and stuff. Yeah.
Marvel vs. Capcom, you'll see it on Dark Stalkers. I don't know if anybody's ever played Dark Stalkers, which is like
yeah.
a monster
Heck yeah.
fighting
Morgan
game.
with the green hair.
Yeah, yeah. Bengus is the guy's name, and his art is iconic in Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Those character designs are amazing. I mean,
Captain
I
Commando.
almost preferred that version of Spider-Man, Wolverine, Hulk. I mean, you saw how big Hulk was. Hulk almost took up the whole screen.
Yeah.
Juggernaut
Yeah.
almost took
Jugga.
up the
Ooh.
whole screen.
Ooh.
It was an amazing game. So yeah, I definitely feel you on that pick, Herm.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
Capcom because they had what Mega Man was it? They had Mega Man. Yeah,
They had
a lot.
Roll. She was one of the characters.
Yeah, yeah,
This was
yeah.
just kind of really cool.
They had so many awesome characters from Capcom. That's why like instead of just Street Fighter versus X-Men, which I love too. I spent many hours on that one. I chose this one because it's like the elite version of those. Like without the other one, you won't get this one. But
It's
it's
got
just,
the most robust cast for almost any fighting game I've ever seen.
it
Like,
had like 56 characters or something like that. You know what I mean? Jeez. It was like you wanted it to play with every character. Like you didn't have enough
Yeah,
quarters for that. You
absolutely.
know what I mean? Like eventually they brought it over to the PlayStation. I was able to play it there. But oh, I freaking loved it, man. That's my number five. I don't want to spend the whole night just talking about one game, but that's my number five.
my number
Station.
five, I'm gonna go with X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Nice.
Ooh.
That like just because there's so much working for it. The fact that it was like a game based off of a movie, which was kind of meh. And usually games based off from movies are kind of meh. But it was just super dope. Like it incorporated like a lot of comic elements into it, while trying to play within the universe of the movie. Um, it had a cool feature like you could Wolverine would get damaged and stuff, and you could see his health bar go low, but after a while, like if you weren't taking any damage or you weren't in combat, you would see him rejuvenate in real
Yeah.
time. Like it was the coolest shit. I mean, coolest
Yeah.
thing. Little, it's just little small things like that that just made it really cool. But it was very it wasn't anything like unique, but it was like kind of like God of War style combat, stationary, and it just worked. It was a fun game. The story was fun. The combat it was very underrated, better than it deserved to be. So I'm gonna go with that with
Nice.
number five.
Oh yeah, I used to love that battle damage thing.
Yeah,
I mean, he used to get like sliced up. You see everything. You could see his adamantium bones
yeah,
sometimes. That's how damaged he got. And while you kept playing, if you didn't get hit, you saw him reforming again, and that was awesome. I don't
yeah.
think they've ever done that since.
No, nope. That's why I'm excited for into his Insomniac.
Yes,
Or yep,
Insomniac games. Yep.
I'm excited for what they're gonna do with Wolverine. They did
Well,
amazing things for
that
Spider-Man.
was.
So
Are we
See
doing
me?
a bit? No, I think you're
I was,
frozen, Herm.
yeah, yeah, my good sir.
Crap.
Again, station to everybody in the chat. Thanks
Yeah,
for joining us, guys. You guys are awesome. Um, and guys, write down your top five comic book video games, man. Everybody. I saw Twitch made a list there. Guys, everybody, write down your top five, man. I want to see
oh,
what
absolutely.
you guys like, man.
Who is your squad in the MVC too? I usually went with like Wolverine, Ryu, Cyclops. Want to interchange the two, and Juggernaut. Juggernaut Smash.
That's a good team. That's a good team. I think Wolverine is a little cheesy, just a tad cheesy, but I still use him to death.
Yeah,
I
he
love
was a
Wolverine.
default. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
Captain Commando.
I think I used to go like if I was just to stick with Marvel characters, I think my favorites to fight with would be Hulk. I used to love Hulk because of the thunderclap
Yeah.
and ripping up the floor. Those were easy ways to like catch people. Of course, Wolverine, Drill Claw, and Berserker Barrage. Everybody knows those. And what was cool about that is they used the voice from the '90s cartoon.
Berserker
Right.
Barrage.
Berserker
Yeah, yeah,
Barrage. Yeah.
yeah,
Let's go, bub.
yeah.
It was awesome. And another character was Spidey, man. Spidey was just awesome to control, fast, had a cool block,
Stick for
used to
my
pull out the
ride.
web shield, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. That little
And
web shield
Ultimate
was dope
Spider was
too.
crazy, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Those
Had
guys
a
were
great,
probably my favorite.
the great music too. The default on the menu. Stick for a
You're
ride.
right.
Yeah,
Hell
that's
yeah.
my shit. Station. A good fella.
You're good, Herm. You hear us?
Guys, hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right, all right. Sorry about that, guys. Technology, I had everything going. Then technology said, "F you, man." So, station, you guys, we will talk about number five. We got Marvel vs. Capcom was legit. Spider-Man had some sick ass combos. Yes, man. Eric
Oh
says
yeah.
Manny Children of the Atom was great. Yeah, he was talking about Children Manny Children of the Atoms. That was just
Characters
a
of
fantastic
the
game.
Marvel one. Yeah.
Uh,
Mhm.
yeah. So we're gonna like Fable said, get your top five countdown in there. We'll read them in a little bit. I'll read Twitch real quick because it might disappear. But Twitch is
Ultimate
like
Alliance. Nice.
Ultimate Alliance, which was a fantastic game. Xbox 360. Um, I played it for PlayStation. But yeah, Xbox Arcade, X-Men Arcade, number four, number three, Ultimate Marvel versus Capcom 3. Uh, number two is Marvel Spider-Man. I mean, yeah, Marvel Spider-Man PS4. And number one was Batman Arkham City. So great list, Twitch. Great list.
Oh yeah.
Marvel. Yeah. So all right, man. I guess we can keep going. Derailed a little bit
Number
there.
4.
Number. Wait. Hold on. I had that. Hold on. Number four.
Four.
Number 4.
All right. So my number four, comic book related video game, and I'm gonna lump these all together because I think they're all fantastic and I think they all should go together. And that is the Batman Arkham series. Starting with Arkham Asylum, then Arkham City, then Arkham Knight, and then there was a prequel which was called, I
Origins.
forgot, the Arkham Origins. Um, what can you say about Batman the Arkham series? I mean, that game literally changed superhero video games, right? Like everything before this game was bad to good, but this game was truly great because it
Fantastic.
wasn't only a great superhero video game because those games kind of were in a niche, right? Like they kind of were in this like B title subgenre kind of thing going on. And the Arkham games made those games legitimate AAA titles
Yeah.
where they're getting, Game of the Year awards and things of that nature. And if you love Marvel Spider-Man, the recent one on PlayStation, well, the skeleton of that game comes from the
Inspired by it. Yeah,
Batman games. Um,
definitely.
combat is this almost reminiscent to everything traversal throughout the city or the Arkham Asylum or wherever they put Batman at. And the fact that Batman played with all of his gadgets. He had foam that you can break doors open with. He had a
Vision.
batarang, a triple batarang, detective vision where he could see certain things, and a grappling hook. And eventually, he even got the Batmobile in Arkham Knight, which was fantastic, also. So, my number four comic book related video games of all time is the Arkham series, Batman Arkham series.
Nice. Nice. Ooh, pretty interesting. Pretty. That is a great series, and it's pretty interesting that you got it on four. So I can't wait for your three. Um. Yeah, I'll talk about this
Oh,
series.
and yeah, right here, I got Batman
There you
Arkham
go.
Knight right here.
Hold on. Hold on. Oh,
This
I
is the
love it so
latest game
much.
on PS4. It's fantastic. Has a great Joker story in here, and voiced by Mark Hamill, guys. Yes, Batman the animated series, Mark Hamill and
Woo.
Kevin Conroy, right here, guys.
Oh.
Right
Oh.
here.
Um. I. I remember picking up Arkham Asylum for the first time and being mesmerized by just everything you just said.
Yeah.
Like they changed the game so much with that.
They fully
Rocksteady,
realized. Yeah.
Rocksteady, which is the company, they knocked it out of the park with this one. And on Arkham City, they perfected it. A lot of the gameplay on that one. I like Arkham Asylum a little bit more, but that's because it came first.
I can
Because
understand
Right.
that. Yeah. It's the
Arkham
story
City,
elements work so much well in because he's the stories he's trapped on the island. He's trying to figure out the mystery, and so it just a lot of elements work better. I can understand why you choose that one.
Well,
That's
I
just
see Arkham Knight as a combination of Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. The
yeah.
things that they achieved in Arkham Asylum, which is like an exploratory puzzle game in a lot of ways. If you ever played Metroid or things of that nature, that's like a three-dimensional Metroid. Um, and then City was an open world, explore Gotham
Oh,
City kind of thing.
so good. So good.
And then, they combined both elements. So you had the city from Arkham City, but you also had the puzzles of the city uh, as well. So it was a that series fantastic.
Yeah, it was funny you talk about the PS4 Spider-Man game was inspired by that. The way that happened was inspired by the Spider-Man game, like the movie one. Like one was like the same thing. Was like not exactly like Arkham, but you know, like you couldn't. It wasn't open world. And then part two was open world for Spider-Man, which
Yeah.
was like mind blowing. You know
Two
what
was
I mean?
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, and then saving the city and all that. So like Arkham City came is probably inspired by that game. You know what I mean? Superhero wise, because I think Grand Theft Auto when I think open world, it's not the first open world, but
Right.
that's what I think. And that
Yeah.
Spider Man was art like Grand Theft Auto, but a superhero. You know what I mean? And then like Arkham City is just blew minds with how they perfected it and stuff like that. Like we could go all day talking about um these games, but we're gonna move on because I have a feeling we might talk about it again. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. You know what I mean? But um we were doing number four. And my number four, which is a game a little bit earlier in my childhood. You know what I'm saying? Super Nintendo, if I'm not mistaken. It was a red cartridge. You know what I'm saying? And of course, it involves Spider-Man and Venom and Maximum Carnage. Like
Nice.
I
Good one.
remember, I remember that game was gifted to me because I used
Right.
to rent it, and it was gifted to me, and I was just out of my mind that they gave it to me. My mom bought it home. It was a gift, and what can you say? It was a very hard game. Like I think I beat it once, if I remember, and it took me a long time. And like I remember going with my friend, and you could be Spider Man, then you could be Venom, and you fight all. If you read the comic book, you know what I'm saying. This was literally off the comic book. A lot that happened in the game happened in the comic books, and it was like at that time that was unheard of because like a lot of the games, the 8-bit graphics and all that from the past, they couldn't do a whole lot of they for that. You know what I'm saying? So this one right here was one of the first ones that really took out of the comic book and brought it to life in the game. Of course, graphics ain't what it is now, but at
Mhm.
that
Right.
time it was phenomenal. So
Yeah.
that's my number four, Maximum Carnage. Did you guys play this game when you were kids?
Absolutely.
I played it a few times. I used to that used to be my thing. Like every weekend, go to
It
the video
was. It
store
was.
and rent a video game and a movie and stuff like that. And that was definitely one of the games I rented the most.
Hmm.
That what
Do
was
you
the? Do you guys
remember?
remember that?
Do you remember? Well, I don't know, Steph, but Herm, you probably remember they used to have the Maximum Carnage ad in the back of every freaking Marvel comic
Yes.
for like a
Yes.
year straight. Like if you go
Yeah.
to the '90s and you look at the back of a comic,
You
more than likely you're gonna see
gotta see
a
it.
Maximum Carnage ad on the back. Like they ran that thing to the floor.
I wanted that game
Yeah.
so bad, and I couldn't get it at the time, and all that. I think they did that in the beginning of the year. You know what I mean? And my birthday's not till October. You know what I'm saying? And Christmas not until two
Hmm.
months after that. So I had to wait almost a whole year. So like I was, my mom knew I wanted it, and then someone gifted it to me. So I got lucky. But like you're right, you saw it all the time. It just made me want it even more. So
Yeah,
I
they used
freaking
to be
loved it.
games with advertising. Those they used to advertise those little handheld tiger
Oh, the
things
Tiger
with
ones,
the
yeah,
comic
oh
books. Yeah.
yeah,
I was like, Mom, give me that. Give me that. I went through a
yeah,
few of those. I used to lose them a
yeah.
lot.
Yeah. I always got tricked with the Tiger LCD games because I used to like want like they come out with an X-Men, so I want the X-Men one. And then I get it and I'm playing it and I'm like, oh, this is kind of
It's hard, and it wasn't
this
that
is
fun.
a yeah, it wasn't that good. Like, it's a freaking calculator game, so you're just like playing this, yeah, and then you go, okay, I'm good. I know what this is about. Then another one comes out, and you're like, okay, maybe this one might change. Maybe this might be the one.
One I remember playing, I can't not Tiger, but I can't remember the name of it. You got to play as like White Vision, Hawkeye, Captain America, and
Hmm.
someone else. It was like a Marvel game for like Super Nintendo, Sega.
Oh, you might be talking about Captain America and the Avengers.
That might be what. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Uh,
because it had Cap in
White
it.
Vision was
Yeah,
in
that
it.
one.
Yeah,
That one's a
Yeah.
real good game. Like the
yeah.
first
Hmm.
Avenger. You talking about the one that's like Arkham Asylum, the game?
No,
Oh,
I think he's talking about the one that's like X-Men the arcade game, like a
oh, you talking about the one
side-scrolling
way
beat 'em
back?
up.
I jumped in the future. Sorry.
Oh, you're talking
Yeah.
about the Cap? I
First
always wanted to
Avenger.
play that. I wanted to play that so
It was
badly.
inspired by Arkham Asylum. It
It
was
looks
almost
fun.
like the fighting and everything. It was so good, so underrated,
Mm.
so underrated.
I'm gonna track
I know.
that down.
I just jumped. I don't know why.
No, it's
My bad. But I guess it's your turn. Who's turn
oh
number four? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's your
before
turn number four.
mine was actually Arkham City, but I'll go with the whole series. But I just remember being particularly impressed with uh the setting and the opening of Arkham City. How the inmates have taken a certain
Oh yeah.
portion of Gotham over, so the mayor's just like give it to him, let him have it, and you're being wheeled in as like Bruce Wayne, and you got all those
Yeah.
crowded people. Um, I I respect the third. I chose the second one because I think it did everything that the first one did better on a bigger scale. But I respect why Herm likes the first one, and I do respect the third one. But it was a little just something was missing for me that the first two kind of bought. Like I think it maybe might have been overly ambitious, like too ambitious for the time, but it was still a great game. But like stuff with like the interaction with the people on Gotham and like the Batmobile, I just felt like it could have been a little bit tighter, just a little bit. But I think that with that series, Arkham City to me was the standout with in terms of story as well.
Yeah, it's a great pick, man. Arkham City is a lot of people's favorite Arkham game for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
I had a lot of fun. Played many hours with it. I ain't gonna argue
Yeah.
with you. You know what I mean?
Oh,
And you got to
Um.
play as Catwoman in that one. I was like, okay, so that kind of, it was like, yo, what if they? Well, I guess Arkham Knight would be better because you got to play as like Robin, Nightwing, Red Hood,
Nightwing, yeah.
and yeah,
It was awesome.
mm,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. So we got all our number fours. What's next?
Yeah.
Number
All right.
three.
Number
Yeah, man.
three.
Number three.
All right. So my next game might not be on a lot of people's list, but I absolutely adored this game the first time I played it. And it's not really a big action beat 'em up kind of comic book game, but it is a comic book game, maybe more like a comic book than the comic book games that we just talked about. My number three is The Walking Dead by Telltale Games.
I
Oh
was
no.
curious to see if anyone's gonna
Let
bring
me
this
just.
series up. That's nice, nice.
Okay, and I'm so in love with this game that I ended up getting the Robert Kirkman Skybound edition
Yo, nice.
of The Walking Dead. So I have two definitive copies here. Um, this is a collection of all of them. So I think there's about four. There's a couple of side stories, but I'm just gonna focus on the first game. The first game told a story so touching, so amazing, and what was great about it is that um, you can choose how the story goes.
Right.
You can have different events happen. Anybody who played this game had a different experience playing this game because everybody chose something different, right? And there's
Yeah.
so much choice in this game. But one thing that remains the same throughout all the choices is the character of Lee. Lee is not in the Walking Dead comic book series, but
Right.
damn it, he should have been because he is an awesome
Great
character.
character. Yeah.
Also, a character of Clementine, a
Clementine.
small little girl that you come across in a house.
She
She's
grow
by
up.
herself, yeah, and it's very touching the relationship those two have throughout this adventure. Um, this game is I highly recommend this to anybody. If you like story, I mean, don't expect punching people and things like that. But remember what
Mm.
I said. It's more like a comic book than the actual comic book games we play. And the reason is because one, it's illustrated like a comic book. The graphics are made to look like they're Charlie Adler's art from The Walking Dead, which is fantastic. And then also because hey, you're going on this adventure just like a comic book. It's a
Yeah.
graphic novel, a three-dimensional graphic novel. It's fantastic. So I highly recommend. And my number three, The Walking Dead.
I love the heck out of that game. How many seasons were there? There was two
Like
full
four, I
seasons.
think. Yeah.
Three. There's three, and then they did like or they went where they went like
Yeah,
I
there's
know
three.
they
No,
had a
no, there's
Michonne
four.
one
one.
of them was called. Well, the
There's
fourth one
four.
wasn't called like a season four. There was four games. Yeah, four seasons technically. But
Hmm.
I remember like the advertising. It was like season one,
Because
season two.
there were episodes in the season. There were like what, four or five
Right.
episodes in the season. Okay.
Something
Four
like
or
that.
five episodes per season, four seasons in total, and two spin-offs, 400 Days and
Yeah,
Michonne.
Michonne,
I
yeah.
Michonne. Yeah, I feel like
What was the
I
last
missed
one?
one.
There was the
Season four, famously, the company that made The Walking Dead went out of business. And
Yeah,
right
season four was only in like one episode or two episodes,
before
or
they
maybe even
ended.
three, but they couldn't finish the game. The company went out of business. So Robert Kirkman stepped in, put it under Skybound Games, and completed the game.
yeah, I remember that. It was pretty cool that he did that. You know what I mean? Because a lot
Yeah.
of fans, what happened with those games is like Telltale took on so many other licenses that they couldn't finish the episode. Instead of every other month, it would come out 5, 6, 7, 9 months later, and by that
Right.
time, people forget what they did in the first episode or the second one. You know what I mean? So there was a lot of complaining about those episodes, and then of course they went under because, like I said, they didn't have enough people to support all this. They took on too much instead of like
Right.
focusing on one series. And then
Right.
they had a couple of other series. I know they had Batman had one too that was
Batman
pretty
was
good.
the other games were actually pretty dope. They had I played them all. Batman, Tales of the Borderlands. You had Game of Thrones one. Guardians of the Galaxy. That was dope. Wolf. The Fables one.
Mm-hmm.
The Wolf
Wolf
Among Us.
Among Us.
That was dope. Yeah.
Yeah,
Back to the Future, Jurassic Park.
yeah,
They
Yeah.
did quite a
yeah.
few.
It's just they just didn't have enough people couldn't afford
No, yeah,
to make
they
all this
definitely.
or big
Yeah.
enough studio. You know what I mean? They needed more studios, and that's how they went down, man.
Yeah.
Which sucks. It sucks because those games were a lot of fun. So yeah, man, that was a great big anybody in the chats. I When I got kicked out and stuff, I lost the list of everybody put down except for
Oh, I
Twitch. I
think I
got to
have it
read
here,
his.
man. I got it here, I think. So
Yeah, you
if
want
you
to
want
read
later,
some of
I
theirs
can go
before it
through it.
disappears? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Read some of them before it disappears.
All right. So we already read Twitch, right?
Yeah.
All right. So then I've got our brother Eric the Stash. And Eric the Stash said number five, PS4 Avengers. I'm very shocked at you, Eric. We have to have
Yo,
a
Eric.
talk later.
Yeah, I don't think Eric's played many games. I'm
I'm just
sorry.
playing. I'm just playing.
No.
I'm just playing. Number four, Sega X-Men. That was a good
Station.
one. Yeah,
Yes.
that's a good
Which
one.
one? One or
Well,
two?
he
Oh,
probably means one because he didn't put a number on it, but I do prefer two.
Two.
X-Men 1 was very hard.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
very difficult game, but still good, you know. His number three is NES War of the Gems. Number two, PS3 Arkham Asylum. And his number one game is PS4 Spider-Man.
nice, nice.
Uh, then we got Noggin Comics. Noggin says his number five is X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Station.
Number four, Guardians of the Galaxy PS4.
Ooh, I want to play that game so badly.
And I guess we're on sort of a same wavelength. But his number three is Batman: The Telltale series. So the same company that did Walking Dead.
Yeah, that's the one I
That's
was
his
talking
number
about. Yeah,
three.
Yeah.
it's pretty good.
What color did you guys choose for your lenses, real quick, for Batman? I went with purple.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
If there was a red one, I'd probably pick the red one.
yeah. Then we got number two, Marvel's Spider-Man for PS4. And then his number one game is the Batman Arkham series. Number one
Yeah,
for Noggin Comics.
it's gonna be a lot of people's, man. That's those that the
Yeah.
whole list right there. Whew, so good.
Yeah. Then you got, let's see. I think that's about it right now. I'm not seeing any more. Yeah, we're caught up there.
All right, all right. If we miss anybody, just throw it down again. I lost everything when I got kicked out. Twitch was talking about the Telltale. Is a Garden Batman, Guardians of the Galaxy, Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones. Forgot about that. Borderlands, Wolf Among Us, Cryo Prime Station, Cryo
Station
Prime,
Cryo.
Brian Station, my man. Uh, I saw NWO. I saw Biggie Shack. If he's
Yeah,
still in
Biggie
here,
Shack's in the house.
too sweet.
Station.
And Real Rude Station, my man. Station, thanks for
Station,
being on
baby.
here. You know what
Oh.
I'm saying? Still waiting on a good dinosaur game. Verdo's still in the house. Station, my man.
no.
Verdo. Yeah, so my number three, like I said, we were gonna talk about it again. Uh, 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 both of you guys had on your list already. My number three is the Arkham series. I put
Nice.
Arkham Knight because Arkham Knight was my favorite out of the three. It wasn't a lot of people's favorite out of the three. It was mine because of the Batmobile. And I understand. I think Twitch said it was a little rough in the edges with the Batmobile, but I freaking loved it. The fact that I
Yeah,
was
me
driving
too,
the
bro.
Batmobile and stuff like that, you know what I mean? The whole driving the maybe that's what caught me. You know what I mean? I
Hmm.
enjoyed the story of it too. I know a lot of people, the Arkham Knight, who it was, like it could have been somebody else. They already did that kind of thing.
I know.
But
Yeah.
I still enjoy the story and all that. The Batgirl part of it with what she went through with the Killing Joke type
Hmm.
thing and all that. The Poison Ivy. I think the Poison Ivy
Hmm.
stuff was really good in this game.
Yeah.
I'm probably missing a few. And then you had the DLC games that were pretty good too. So
Yeah.
yeah, Arkham Knight was my favorite because of all that. You guys know I don't judge by how it I just my enjoyment of the game, and
Right.
that's why. But the Arkham series as a whole, you know what I'm saying?
That's
It's
how you judge, man. We all judge
Fantastic. Yeah.
differently. That's the
Yeah.
yeah,
beauty of it.
but I freaking loved it, man. I couldn't love
I
it.
just
You know what I
love
mean?
I just love the fact that you can call it no matter what. So when you're like, let's say you're fighting a gang of guys and then you press the button to call it Batmobile, that shit just comes in, smashes everybody, your character automatically like flips into the car. Or when
Yeah.
you get out the car, he like jumps out and he spreads his wings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to love that stuff. Yeah, it was great.
Oh
It was
man,
great.
it's just so much that
But
I would.
it's like you said, all three games are just fantastic, man.
They're just
Rocksteady Games,
fantastic. You know what I mean? Like
good studio.
we talk about mechanics and stuff and all that. Arkham City was the best one out of all of them, really. But when it comes to
Well,
overall
Arkham
for
City like
game,
graduated it, it just
yeah,
went to the
graduating
next
from
level.
the yeah, and then with this one, it's just I loved it, man. I freaking had a ball with all three games for hours. So pretty
Oh
much
yeah.
like that's why Arkham series is probably what I should have put down. But I had to make some love for my Arkham Knight. You know, I have the pop figure back here. I had it. It's not here no more. But I freaking love it. So that's my number three. And Steph, what's your number three?
My number three is Marvel vs. Capcom 2, just because
Yeah.
I put so many hours into that game. It's a game you can just kind of throw on and have some fun with your friends. Like I was saying about the robust cast of characters they've got. Um, just it's such a variety. I just have had many countless nights and hours of fun with that game with my Xbox friends, online
Nice.
friends. I had an Xbox
Absolutely.
360.
Yeah. Yeah. That's I I played hours with that. Like I said, in the arcades, I wasn't very good. But when I was home playing one of these like this, I was a little better, especially with Street Fighter. But
Right.
yeah, I didn't play online a whole lot. I had played with friends and I once the friends went away, I didn't play a lot because I wasn't an online guy. But yeah, that's a game like I played a few of them online. That's the only
Yeah.
game that will make me play online It's that one.
Yeah, yeah, I
So
didn't mind playing online with that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So even though I got my butt whooped by like I guess people who like went night and day and played it, you know what I'm saying? But the combinations were awesome. And
Right.
Wolverine, another character I used a lot in that.
Okay.
Uh yeah, Chun Li. I use a lot Wolverine with Chun Li kind of mix and stuff like that. All the ones that a lot of people probably fought with too. That was a little bit easier to navigate. I had a friend who was good with Guile, and used to use
Mm.
Guile, and and I forgot who he used for Marvel, but I think he used Iron Man and stuff like that because Iron Man
Mm.
had that big. Was it Iron Man that had that big
The
blaster
repulsor. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the I know he did the repulsor beam, but he had
Mm.
that gun that would come out
Yeah,
of. So
yeah,
yeah.
that damn Iron Man.
I love the little girl, BB Hood. The
Yeah,
Yeah, she was low
the
key deadly. Yeah.
yeah, she had the little
Sun Sun
basket.
was cool. Yeah. Little cloud. I used to love flying on the cloud.
Mhm.
Nimbus.
yeah. So yeah, that was awesome. That was yeah that game. Whew. So Twitch it says actually I'm going to revise my list because I just remember that a certain show a game was based on was first a comic book. So MUA drops off my list and throw DuckTales Remastered in there.
Good
Nice.
one.
DuckTales, woo!
Oh
DuckTales, woo! DuckTales was really freaking good.
yeah.
Next station, man.
Station.
Yeah, we had so much fun out with him on Sunday. But
Mm.
yeah, man, like Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 2, PS2 Spider-Man saving the balloons.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man, that was great. So there you go. So I guess we're already up to number 2.
Number two.
I'll be brief. My number two, you guys mentioned it's a little higher on well, not a little higher, right? It's number two. It's damn near the top. But I like to lump all of these games together. So I'm talking about Marvel vs. Capcom 1, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and Marvel vs. Capcom 3, which is just as good as 2, but in 3D. And that game looked phenomenal. So
Phenomenal.
um, it had Ghost Rider in it. It was fantastic. Doctor Doom.
Did
Um,
you prefer Ultimate Alliance 3 or not Ultimate Alliance, but the third one? Or because there's like they released 3 Fate of Two Worlds and then they re-released it. Which one
yeah.
did you like better?
Yeah, I mean, I'd take either one. I mean, the newer one, of course, has the more characters, so I'll probably go for the more characters because that's what that game is about to me. It's all these characters and having a combination of either two or three. Because I think part one was only two guys you could
Yeah,
have
every other
at a
one was
time,
3 characters.
three
Yeah.
characters. So, um, and it was just so fun to see what Capcom cooked up for these characters to do when you do their combos together, all three of them together. I remember BB Hood, the little girl with the basket. She's like Red Riding Hood, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, she pulls out a freaking gun out the basket.
Grenades and
Yeah, it's been grenades, and she calls like these other three guys to come behind her, and they come with like shotguns and giant guns and stuff. And I mean, it seems like that game was made with a lot of love. It was
yeah.
animated to the T. It was fast, it was furious, and it was just cool as hell, man. See all these characters all together. I played Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and 3. I mean, I just cannot tell you how many times I played it or how many times I bought it. Because I bought Marvel vs. Capcom 2 a few times on different systems. So, yeah, my number two, you guys said it, Marvel vs. Capcom series.
Yeah, that's we already we like I said we could talk all night about my Ross
Yeah.
Con and all the stuff, all the characters. I kind of want to like stop talking to you guys right now. Let's see, I'll find my game somewhere over here and go play it. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's a great number two. And like uh yes, so I'm moving on to my number two, and my number two would have been my number three, but then I remember how much fun I had playing with it in the arcades and at home for the PS2. I mean, no, for the Super Nintendo when I rented it and I ended up owning it, and it got messed up like my whole situation with all my consoles in Florida got messed up and all that. And I think I ended up rebuying it. I was trying to find it for this show and I couldn't. But I already said Super Nintendo. Um, it was funny because Sega like has a lot of love. I have a lot of love for Sega, but this one is the one that made my list over Arkham series, which I love. The Batman's two of my favorite all-time favorite stuff. You know what I mean? And anything character. So the fact that this one was able to beat out that one, and of course for the Super Nintendo, that I play hours with my friends, and I never beat it um out in the open with quarters because it was so hard. I needed people to help me. And I remember Pierre in the Super Nintendo. I think you had to buy the piece for you could have four players and stuff like that, and you connect it to the Super Nintendo, and I will have four of my friends, so we could play all four Ninja Turtles. And yes, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game, is my number two. I played the heck out of this game. I might have played more this than the Arkham series put together. That's how much I love it. But it was so hard, and we were so determined to beat the game. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, uh, man, it was just the fact that this one was my number one for a long time, comic book related, because we could go video games and talk about other games too. For so long that there was one game that beat it out, and anybody who knows me probably knows what that game is already. But this game right here, I was always Raphael, which wasn't very smart because he had the sai, and Donatello was probably the best one because he had the long stick that you could reach out a little bit more. You know, Michelangelo with the chucks and stuff like that. Of course, you got Leo with the sword, and all my friends, we were all in there, be all the turtles, and then we were last to the end, so you finally get to Krang and all them. You know what I mean? I freaking loved it. Beat it once in my life. Another one hard. Talk about hard. I think the games back then felt a lot harder than the ones now. The ones now can be hard, but those games back in the day, because you had to feed quarters, you know what I mean? That's probably
Mm-hmm.
why. But Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 arcade game, my number two. There you go.
Station.
Nice.
Station. Any of you guys play this? I'm pretty sure you guys play this.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, I
all the
have
time.
it.
That
I think
that and
somewhere back there.
if I went to the arcade, it was either X-Men, Simpsons, or TMNT that I was, playing the most. Those were my jams.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I love that game. I was thinking if it was someone gonna pick that. That was in one of my honorable mentions. But my number two is well to do a series. The X-Men Legends. I think that I'm a giant X-Men
Mm.
fan.
Nice.
Those were just they were dungeon crawlers, but they were fun. Like they were catered to X-Men fan. Like the lore was built in. The voice cast for the characters they used was great. The story was great. The combat was nothing crazy, but it was smooth enough, refined enough that you could enjoy.
Right.
Proceeding through the game. I say the series because it's like they're almost the same game, just different stories. Like
Right.
this second one, I think had the better story, but this first one's still amazing. I have them
Oh
both on
yeah.
my phone. I love playing those games to this day. I need to get
Yeah.
them for the PlayStation, to be honest, or the
Those
Xbox.
games are like X-Men the arcade game, but just updated because they're beat
Yeah,
'em ups. They're just not sideways anymore.
right.
Now we're going in different directions. It's still a beat 'em up though,
Yeah,
and it's a great beat 'em up. X-Men Legends is excellent.
Yeah,
yeah, that's one of
great
my
pick, man. Great pick.
favorites.
It makes sense. You're an X-Men fan and all that, and that's in there. I mean, come on, you know. X-Men.
X-Men for
Yeah,
life.
man. That was pretty great. Let's see what some people had a few things to say here. If I missed anybody, I apologize. Um, Nick says my first thought was Sonic the Hedgehog, but I only ever got them for the cover by I guess talking about comic books. Um,
Mm.
Marvel vs. Capcom, Real Rude, Marvel vs. Capcom, epic of them all, of epic
Mm.
all of them. You talking about all the series, and you were talking about it.
Mm.
Wolverine and Iron Man was always my picks. Wolverine,
Nice.
Iron Man. There you go. There you go.
Oh, it must be Marvel's.
Um, Mega Man had that mini run early last year that wasn't bad too. Comic books.
Oh
um,
yeah, he's talking about the comic. Yep.
Yeah, Empire say you missed the
Yeah,
boat on that. Okay, so let me X-Men Mutant Apocalypse.
Hmm.
that was a first person shooter, wasn't it?
You in
Mutant Apocalypse,
Apocalypse?
if I'm not mistaken. It
I feel
wasn't
like
it wasn't too popular, but
yeah, I feel like I played it, but don't remember it a lot.
I think it was like on the Unreal Engine.
Nick say he's super stoked for the new Batman game with the Bat fam. Yeah, man, I
Oh
want to
yeah.
play
Gotham
that.
Knights. Yeah.
Oh, oh, I can't wait. Oh my God, best pick. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle arcade was amazing.
Yeah.
Completely forgot about that was Nick Eric.
Yeah, I
Completely
read
forgot
that one.
about TMNT. My whole list
The
needs
list
to
needs to
Yeah.
change.
change. Yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
sorry.
Cowabunga!
Cowabunga! I love that. Teenage
Oh
Mutant
yeah.
Turtles. I don't talk about it enough. It's one of my all-time favorite stuff of anything too, and I don't
Yeah,
talk
Mhm.
about it enough.
that it was when I was growing up. It was like X-Men. It was my first knowledge is X-Men, but my mom tells me it was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles first. It was TMNT, X-Men, Power Rangers, then later
Hmm.
Batman, and those are like my
Yeah,
four pillars growing up.
Nice.
yeah. One day we're gonna have to do our top five favorite of anything and just
Hmm.
do
Yeah,
anything, and probably it has to be probably top 10. It's gonna be hard to do a top
yeah.
five, but uh, full
Black
arcade
Super good
playthrough
too,
on TMNT incoming.
and
Yeah,
nice.
that. Uh oh. I'm gonna have to go to Tennessee and over there where you at or something like that, and go play that with you. Real rude link. This Simpson was the best for me as arcade. Simpson game was
Yeah,
freaking
great.
phenomenal, bro.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Oh,
Bart,
Simpsons
and
is
he used a
fantastic.
skateboard to beat people up. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Slash.
You know what I'm saying? You see
Konami
his
was
hair.
just on a roll at that
Yeah.
time. Konami was
Yeah,
like king of the arcade beat 'em ups. They came out with the X Men arcade game, the Captain America and the
TMNT.
Avengers, CMNT, Turtles in Time, Simpsons. They were just killing the game when it came to side scrolling beat 'em ups.
I would just love all those games, like to pick them up. I don't know where you could get them, where I can get them in my system, but
It's so funny how the Simpsons arcade game has just eluded console games for so many years. I mean, Arcade One Up, which is the guys who make the little mini arcade cabinets, they just came out with a Simpsons arcade cabinet, but the only problem is it's about $750, and that's
Wow.
just ridiculous. So, um,
yeah, how
would
much do you
love,
love it?
yeah, well, no, not that much, but I do love it.
Yeah. Um, X-Men Legends. Manny says over
Over
Ultimate
Ultimate
Alliance.
Alliance.
Yeah,
Ultimate Alliance. I played a lot of hours of that. It was a pretty good game too. But
yeah.
X-Men Legends is yeah
Yeah, that's
yeah.
the OG, man.
Ricochet and Clank. Anyone?
Oh, Ratchet and Clank.
Ratchet and
Ratchet and
Clank.
Clank. I said
I
Ricochet. I'm thinking of the
love
wrestler.
love
I
Ratchet and
prefer
Clank,
Jack and
Brian.
Daxter, but I respect Ratchet and Clank because
You know, I
there was a
was
competition.
I was with you. I definitely enjoyed Jack and Daxter until I played the PS4 Ratchet and Clank. I don't know if you played that one.
Oh no, I haven't played
Oh
the.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that looked
so good.
amazing though. Yeah.
It was
Kind of
good.
sold me on maybe Ratchet and Clank is a little more heavy. Maybe I'll see what you think when you play it.
Side-scrolling game. Oh wow.
Mutant Apocalypse was a
On the
side-scrolling
SNES, yeah,
X-Men
that's what I
game on the
thought it was.
SNES.
Was
Yeah,
that wasn't the second
That's
one to
the I think that's
Capcom?
the yeah, it's Capcom,
That was
I
the
think.
Capcom one.
And
Okay,
I
with
think it's the
Psylocke and Beast.
second. Probably. I'm not sure. But I think it was a follow up
To
to
okay,
War of the Gems.
okay. Yeah, I
Might have
think
been.
Gambit and Psylocke and Beast and Cyclops were in that
Yeah.
one, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe
Sunset
we're
Rider was another game that was awesome, though not
Oh,
licensed.
yeah.
what
Sunset
is
Riders
Sunset
was
Riders?
ridiculously good. That's another Konami side scroller, but instead you play as these cowboys, and they all
Oh
have
wow,
different guns. One has a shotgun, one has a two shooter, two pistols, things like that. And
that's
it's,
dope.
just a good side scrolling thing. But it was great. It was great. Konami was firing on all cylinders at that
Yeah,
point.
Real Rule said there's a place here called Press Start that they have all these games and a bar. You guys would love it.
that's dope.
Yeah, man. We had one in Brooklyn. Uh, called the game something. I forgot exactly what they called. Uh, and I think they closed it, so we don't have one no more. So we're gonna have to go over there and play. You know what I mean? Those old school arcades. You know what I mean? Like if
Oh
I
yeah.
had the room, I would have some of those. You know what I mean? That's how awesome they were. Uh, Yeah, Ricochet was a wrestler. Might as well be video game. He's
And
unbelievable.
he was a superhero character. He remember with Spider-Man. He
Yeah,
was the one with the
Mm,
white hair and the discs on his
yeah,
sleeve. Ricochet.
yeah. Ricochet.
nice.
So he was a super. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. So he was in the comics before. He was a
Yeah.
wrestler. But John Thomas is in the house. I haven't done that yet, so I might as well do that. You know what I mean? So
Casey.
before we get to number one, honorable mentions.
Honorable mention.
So yeah, before we used to do that first, I figured maybe we'll go through the list and then do an honorable mentions before we get to the whopping number
Number
one
one.
for us. Um,
Respectfully.
so usually Fable talks. I talk too much. Go ahead, Fable.
So my first honorable mention is a game that's also a fighting game. Um, but I think that this fighting game takes it up a level, maybe a little bit on Marvel vs. Capcom, because it includes these story bits, and the story bits just look absolutely incredible. So I'm talking about the Injustice series, Injustice 1
Yes,
and 2.
Forgot about that
Fantastic
series.
fighting
really
games. I
good.
mean, incredible. And the story of Superman becoming evil and the way it plays out in this fighting game and these two fighting games is incredible. I mean, some of the best animation, three-dimensional animation you'd ever see, coming from the Mortal Kombat team, who did just amazing work on that game.
Amazing.
That game set the groundwork for Mortal Kombat 11, which is one of the most beautiful fighting games I've ever seen. Um, but
Did you like 10?
Injustice. Hmm?
Did you like 10?
10 was good. 10 was good. I like the I liked is that the one where they had the horror movie characters in it? Like Freddy
Yeah.
was in it,
Yeah.
Jason. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely liked it. But 11, I mean, it was like this big. 11 was basically a Mortal Kombat movie that you can play the fighting scenes in. It's basically
Nice.
what
Yeah.
11 was, and it was a good movie. It was a good story. But that groundwork was set in Injustice 1 and 2, so good that it actually became a comic book series that people actually
Tom Taylor,
you
baby.
know, yeah, people actually are seeking out right now. So, honorable mention, Injustice series 1 and 2.
Nice, nice. Perry Games in the house. I didn't even know he had Perry Games. He's got Perry Reacts, Perry Comics,
There we
Perry
go.
Carried
Games.
everything.
He's everywhere. He got
Perry,
Perry everything. You know what I mean?
awesome, bro.
MK, yeah, MK11 is amazing. Great game, great game. Uh, yeah. So, my I guess what we're doing one at a time. Honorable mentions
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
okay, okay. So, my first honorable mention is one that you said earlier, and it is the Walking Dead Telltale games. You know what I mean? We just had a whole discussion on it. I remember
Mhm.
loving the heck out of it and making sure I was paying attention because, like, they only give you a certain amount of time to have an answer, or they'll do it automatically. You know what
Right.
I mean? Then you gave the wrong answer, and one of the characters died, and you're like, "No, you killed them, you bastard!" And it was like, it was very nerve wracking. And one of them died because I didn't choose in time. You know what I mean? And I was like,
Right, right.
what if they were still alive? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What?
Mm.
You know, and Clementine, I loved her character, but like as she kept going, like season two, like she never like grew. Like she was still as scared at end of season two as she was season one. I was just like, come on. But besides that, I freaking enjoy the heck out of that. Like you said, the relationship with Lee and all that. I was
Yeah.
hoping to see it in a comic one day and stuff
Right.
like that. So that's my honorable mentions. And great, great, great tell. Boom.
I'm
So
just gonna give my honorable mentions. Just toss them out there. The Punisher, the X-Men Sega games, Spider-Man Web of Shadows, Shattered Dimensions, Spider-Man PlayStation One, the very first, well, for my generation, the very first
Mhm.
PlayStation game. I get, yeah, the first PlayStation Spider-Man game, Spider-Man Two, Ultimate Hulk Destruction. That was a great game. I love that
Mhm.
game. Spent a lot of time on it. Uh, TMNT '89 and Ultimate Alliance.
Nice.
nice.
Those are great, brother.
Yeah, yeah, all great games. Like you mentioned, a lot of Spider-Man games there, which
Yeah,
I played them all, and except for like I think there was a few of them I didn't play towards the last couple of years of the Spider PlayStation 2 life. But that's because of, those times I wasn't buying games, but all great games, man. I remember playing uh like the movie games, you know what I mean? Except for like Spider-Man 3,
Right. Yeah.
it was a lot of glitches in Spider-Man 3, the movie game and stuff like that. So TMNT, it's in your honorable mentions. Should have been on your countdown, but it's okay. I forgive you. Not just kidding.
This yeah, this was
That came out when I was a kid, so that like that was the shit when it came out. You know what I mean? Kind of like when you
Mm-hmm.
see all these X-Men games and all that. It was in the same level. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the fact that it's still in your honorable mentions is still pretty cool. So there you go. I guess Fable, your next honorable mention. Um,
My next honorable mention, one of you guys mentioned it earlier. As I told you, the Walking Dead was a big game on my list. It was a number three game on my list. But an honorable mention, I got to give it up to The Wolf Among Us.
Wolf Among Us. Yeah.
Um, I've never heard of this comic book before this game. This was my first introduction to the Fables universe, which is a universe where all the fairy tale characters live in our world, the real world. Somehow they come into our world and they have their own little town or their own little place where they all live. And this game in particular is about a murder that happens in that town. I forgot who was murdered exactly, but it was a fairy tale character. And Bigby, who's his name is Bigby because he's the big bad wolf, right? I'm trying to play off of that. Bigby is a detective, and uh, he's trying to solve the murder before the real world tries to investigate themselves, right? So he's trying to basically investigate this murder so that nobody ever even finds out about Fables. You know what I mean? So this game is fantastic. Same along the lines of Walking Dead as far as gameplay, but also a great story. Love this. Fell in love with this game. So The Wolf Among Us is one of my honorable mentions.
All right. All right. I guess my turn. Um, there's so many games we could talk about. Like I had a bunch of those. I remember it's not as good as all the other Spider-Man, but I remember Spider-Man the animated series for Super Nintendo. It was the graphics wasn't the greatest, but I beat it like a bunch of times. It had all the characters from the game. You know what I mean? And you go
Mhm.
all the way towards the end, and after you beat all the enemies, you know what I'm saying? Like Electro had all that. You get to beat all of them. You get to be when you go after the Green Goblin, you have to go through a carnival and everything, and
Mm.
once you beat all the villains, you have to go back and beat a gauntlet of villains before like
Mm.
you finally face Venom and stuff, and it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. I really enjoy that. Um, so I had to mention that real quick. Of X2 Wolverine's Revenge. I remember playing that, it being one of my favorite. I remember it was Origin or that one. Um, uh, did you remember? Did you like the Revenge one? I don't remember which one I liked the most.
I don't think I played that game. Origins is the one I remember being better than it should have been, right? Because it's based on a bad movie. It's based on a bad movie. It's not necessarily the game I would want to play because I didn't like the movie too much. So why would I want to play the game? But the game is actually better than the movie, in my opinion. So I never played the Revenge one. I don't know if I've even heard of it, to be honest. But yeah,
what game you guys talking about?
Wolverine Origins. No, I was just talking
I
about
was trying to, yeah, I was trying to remember which one I liked the most.
Oh, Wolverine's
Wolverine
Revenge
Origin
X2.
or X2 Revenge. Like,
X2 had a cool look, but yeah, gameplay wise, Origins was killing it, man. Like that, way better than should have been. But I remember I played quite a bit of X2 as well. It was during that whole phase when cell shading was really cool for video games and stuff like that.
yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, I remember getting it for the PS2, X2. I remember playing a lot of it and liking it. But
yeah.
I remember playing both, so I don't remember which one I liked the most. But I figure I'll throw both of those in there as my honorable mentions. And I guess because Steph gave all his honorable mentions on the line. Do you have any more? Or
No, no.
um so Faber, you have more? How many much more? You got one more or you got a few more?
No, no. I mean,
I just
if
had
I
so
had to
many.
mention one more, it would be the Turtles games, of course. Turtles in Time, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the arcade game.
Turtles in Time was so good too.
Yeah, both of those games are fantastic. I love them. I just didn't want to put it on the list because when I put X-Men, I figured, this is the same game almost, right? It's almost the same thing. And X-Men is more my thing than Ninja Turtles, right? But the Ninja Turtles games may be better than the X-Men one, right? But the X-Men one is the one that impressed me the most as a child, right? Like I saw X-Men on a video game, it was over. Like I needed to play that. So,
Fact.
but so I give if I had to give one more, it would be to the Turtles game for sure. Great, fantastic
Yeah, I
tri-color
freaking
beat 'em ups,
I love
classics.
it was my number two, so I freaking loved it. Like I said,
Yeah,
uh don't give Ninja Turtles enough credit. Everybody knows like the movie was my all time watch movie. I think I watched that one more than anything. So Ninja Turtles will be my top five if in anything too.
It's
So
kind of like Transformers. Like there's a they both kind of started in the 80s. There's a different iteration for every generation so far. Like it's something that keeps getting rebooted every couple of years up there with
yeah,
Transformers. Like it's a powerful franchise.
doing
You're right
oh
though. Yeah,
yeah.
genuine so much love for it. Yeah. Yeah, and then one more honorable mentions before I go to the chats real quick before we go to the number one. Um, I wanted to say this because I remember playing it as a kid. It wasn't the greatest game ever, but it was really good. It was the Nintendo game after the movie Batman '89. That Nintendo
Mhm,
game is I know it's an
mhm.
8-bit game, and not many people gonna pick an 8-bit game in their list. But I had to put it in my honorable mentions because I remember playing the heck out of that game when I was a kid. You know what I mean? It was Batman and all that. And you had to like go up and down and type
Mhm.
game and everything. But and you saw him in the black suit in there, and the cartridge is pretty cool with the Batman sign. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I had to mention that as my honorable mentions. And
Batman's Returns was also excellent. Batman
Batman
Returns for
Returns.
Super Nintendo was fantastic.
Yes,
Batman Forever was
yes.
kind of whack though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. We could make a top five of bad comic book
Well,
games. Let's not forget there were a
we
lot of clunkers, a lot of stinkers.
Yeah.
we might have to go back and we have to do that show with the top five because my wife kind of suggested that to me, like top five.
Yeah.
Now she's gonna be like, I told you, you know, you should have. That's my idea. You know what I mean? So I guess we're gonna have to do that. Top five clunkers. Like come back one of the weeks in a couple of weeks and do that one. Um real quick, Cryo Prime. His top five is Beautiful Joe.
Did not know that was a comic
Five.
book first.
Yeah.
I don't think it is a comic book, but I think it deals
Comic book
in
inspired.
comic inspired kind of thing. Yeah,
Gotcha.
it looks like a comic book. It's like frames, like a comic
Yeah.
panels and things like that. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess. Yeah. I would have never myself. But yeah. I agree. Forrest Gump Program versus the World, which is
Okay.
That was a good one.
I remember just seeing the characters in the background watching him fight and all that, all these big
Hmm.
dudes and stuff, and they
I,
just be going up and down like yeah, and the girls are like yeah. It's just
There we go. Beautiful
oh
Joe.
there, oh he got it.
I still have
Oh,
Scott Pilgrim on my 360
I can't
too.
wait for the
That's a
show and
good
tell
game.
later. I know you got some gems in that program.
Oh
Save it
yeah.
for the show and tell. um, keep on keeping on. Batman Arkham series. There you go, number three. Wherever you have it, it's in your top five. It belongs there. It probably belongs high up, like three and up. But
Hmm.
to each his own. But two, Little Nemo's Dream Master. You guys, anybody ever play that? I've never played that
Yeah.
one.
That was for the
What
NES, I
what?
believe. Little Nemo.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Damn, I missed that one. But I played this one, Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3.
Nice.
That was a comic first. Like Dragon
Well,
Ball
it's
Z
a
was a comic
manga,
The
so
manga, yeah.
I mean, mangas are
manga.
comics, Japanese comics, so
Yeah, it counts. It counts. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Like I didn't remember which one was first. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like
DBZ comic was first for
was
sure
first. Okay,
before the
okay.
show.
Because
Yeah.
I don't remember if like Pokemon was a game first before a comic, right? Before a manga, or was it
Yeah,
for I?
it was a
No, it
game
was a
first.
game
Pokemon was
first.
a
Yeah.
game
There was a
first,
game
yeah.
first, right? That's why I didn't put it
Right.
on my list because I
And
Mhm.
then it
knew
was a
that.
cartoon. Then I believe
Then
it got the comic. Yeah,
okay,
the manga.
Right.
What
okay.
manga?
That's good to know because like I figured it wasn't a comic first. So
Yeah.
everybody saying station. Oh Wolf station, my man,
Did you
station.
read? Did you read what he wrote at the bottom?
I'm still going through the thing.
He
Um
says, "Sorry, guys." When you get to it, you'll see it.
uh Big B and Batman have a comic out now. Okay, so my
Yes.
comics. Did we mention Double Dragon? Was that a comic book first?
Yeah, I don't remember that being
I think it
Uh,
just a
was
video game.
Nick, was
video
Yeah.
that a?
games. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
I
that.
think we were just talking about video games
Double
for sure.
Dragon, yeah, Double Dragon was. We're gonna get there where we're gonna talk about different kind of video games. That's why this is the segment that starts off our video game stuff. We're gonna go. There are gonna be times where it's a countdown. There's gonna be times we might talk about one game and what we love. We might
Right.
dissect the game or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm hoping everybody enjoying it so far. You know what I mean? Because this is pretty much what you're gonna get. The countdown will take longer. That's why like we didn't add any more segments. Like we took away a
Right.
segment. We're like an hour and a half in, but we didn't give our number one yet. But
Man, Steph was right.
Steph was right. We could keep talking our
Steph was
asses off.
right. He said it.
Perry Gaines, Batman Arkham Asylum. Number one, he went from 1 to 5. Two, Marvel vs. Capcom. Three, MK11. MK11 was a comic book first.
No.
I don't think.
And people are just talking about video games at this point, Harm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The
Number four, DC Universe Online, and number five, Call of Duty Honorable mentions Max Payne. Yeah, yeah, Perry, man. Read the thumbnail, man. I appreciate that though.
Oh yeah.
comic book related video games.
Max
It's all
Payne,
right.
I'll let Max Payne slide because its story was relayed through comic book panels. So it is a comic book kind of related kind of thing. Um,
Mm.
but again,
What about the
very
third one?
technical. Yeah, right. They lose that aesthetic right after the first or second one, I think.
Spider-Man for Sega Genesis, Dragon Ball Z for PlayStation 1, and Metal Gear Solid for PS1. Yeah, my honorable mentions. I guess like they're just going.
Yeah,
They're just going.
We just
it's
evoked the
okay, man.
nostalgia factor that people.
Oh, whoa! Do you remember JT? Do you remember when Atari Raiders: The Lost Ark was the shit?
Oh man.
Oh man, now I need to get a drink. Nick said, dude, those Dragon Ball Z games on that SNES was great.
Yeah, they were.
Mark Tyson Patchow was
They made
also my
Dragon Ball
favorite
Z
of mine.
games
Now
for
this
the
is
Super Nintendo.
Yeah, man, they
No
had quite a
way.
few. Yeah, some good ones, some classics.
Really, I'm gonna have to
uh
look this up. Yeah, that just
Teenage
blows my
Mutant Ninja
mind.
Turtle from 2007 is the only game I have ever achievement for the Xbox.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I've got a few maxed
uppercut,
out games.
uppercut, body blow. Those games are wicked hard. I tried playing them on the SNES and I suck so much. Sorry, guys. I'm
There
ancient.
it
I
is.
have no clue with all these games you're talking about. It's all right, old Wolf, man. I
Yeah, man.
appreciate you being on here talking with us.
Hell yeah.
It's okay to enjoy the whiskey. That's what I do. All
That's what I do.
right, right. Let me keep going because I'll be here forever. Um, got a dip, making the donuts. All right, JT, John Thomas.
Station,
Station.
JT.
Max Payne was a comic for the game. I think Rockstar and Marvel and Call of Duty comic books got me back into the hobby. Call of Duty,
He thinks. He thinks.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
He's not for sure.
Yeah, they made comics after it. So if
Mm,
we'll do a countdown with all comic book and all that related, then all
mm,
that would count. but
The
it's
prototype
okay.
would be in there. That would
yeah.
be definitely be in there. Comic book
Yeah, yeah.
related.
You got to show me the
Pokemon.
comic, Perry. If you send me the comic, because from what I know, Max Payne was made by Remedy Games.
It was
Remedy Games is currently the maker of Control and Alan
Alan
Wake.
Wake. Yep.
So from what I know, their first project was Max Payne, and I don't think it was based on a comic book. But if let me know, show me, man. That would be awesome.
Yeah,
You know,
real. Wait, was it supposed to be comic book games? Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah. It
It's
was
all
like
right, man.
comic book inspired video games. So they came out as comics first, and then into the video games. Like I said earlier, we can go back and forth like with video game comics and all that. There's a lot more games. The list will be even bigger. Like, and we'll be here like all. This will be like the Let's Talk About It remastered. Spine Tick edition. You know what I'm saying? We'll be here all night. Oh
See, I
man,
think it was the wording of comics inspired that is what's getting people.
Max
Oh
Payne is
yeah,
definitely comic inspired.
for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
All right. So guys, we're finally here to number one.
All right. So number one. Obviously, there's one game that is fantastic that nobody's mentioned on their list yet. And we've mentioned a
You
bunch of comic book games.
got
In
that
fact, I
podcast.
think we mentioned all the best comic book games that have ever been made. But there's one that, I haven't heard yet, and one that you guys haven't heard yet that I'm probably sure you're like, where is this? Of course, my number one is Marvel Spider-Man.
I think that's
Shit, I
everyone's
should have
number
went
one.
first.
Let's just say that it's my number one easy. It gave me the same feelings as I did when I first played Spider-Man 2, or like, it was one of the few games I played in the last few years where I was like, I want to play that, I want to play that, I want to play that. Like, it was
Right.
like kind of admitting everything else I was doing just to beat that game. Like,
Yeah.
I grinded that game out. So,
Um,
definitely my number
to
one.
me, it's Arkham.
Clue,
Oh yeah.
clue, clue.
To me, it's
Clue.
Arkham Asylum. All the Arkham games, but better.
Yeah.
And when I mean better, not necessarily just like it's better. Like no, it's not better. But some of the annoying things of the Arkham games that I didn't like, Spider-Man kind of took that out and kind of just focused on combat, focused on
It's okay.
objectives, and had a great story to boot. And the graphics are fantastic. And one thing that Spider-Man games since the beginning of Spider-Man games, right? And we're talking what Atari? Maybe they had a Spider-Man game. I'm not
I
sure.
think
I'm
so. I
almost
think
positive.
it was really bad.
One aspect of these games over the last 30 years, 40 years, whatever it is, that we're trying to get right is Spider-Man swinging through a city. And they've gotten it right, or as good as they can get it. Let me put it like that, as good as they can get it in the past. But in this game, they got it. They completely got it. His swinging mechanics are fun. You want to travel the city. There's a fast travel. These games have fast travel. This is probably one of the only games I don't use fast travel. I just want to swing through the city, do
Yeah.
his little flips and maneuvers, running across the building. Sometimes he runs across the building. The collision detection is amazing in this game. They know when Spider-Man's about to hit something, and they make an animation where he avoids it or does something like that. So, uh, though they've attempted and have done great things with swinging mechanics for Spider-Man, I think Insomniac Spider-Man game does it the best.
Um. Man, you took my answer, man. Took my answer. Man, I remember sitting down playing this game, and then I was like, man, this is awesome. Like I like you remember all the past games. You remember the Batman Arkham Asylum. Then you remember like Spider-Man 2. That's what I remembered. Playing Spider-Man 2 for the first time. How I felt going around the city for the first time, and chasing muggers and all that. But this was like the Arkham City version of it. But better. You know what I mean? That's just like
Mhm.
they Insomniac, man. They perfected it so much. You can tell they worked on it. Uh, the graphics, the Taskmaster task, all the little tasks around it. Um, the story, I enjoyed the story. It was different from the
Yeah.
comics. There were people like wanted to nitpick on that, but
I think that was one of the stronger aspects of it, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah, I love the whole thing. Like there was some people, oh, this was copying Lois Lane because Mary Jane wanted to be a reporter and stuff like that. I didn't care about all that, man. I freaking enjoy the heck out of this game. The heartbreak towards the end and all that, and yeah, the emotion. You guys know I go through emotions a lot, and this game, like, my God, you explained everything there. Like, what else? Like, the worst thing I did was I used a lot of the tokens early, and then I couldn't platinum the game. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? Because I needed
mm,
one more token, and when you do the drone ones, the drone missions, I could never
right.
get a 3 star with that because I always mess up with my timing. You know what I'm saying? So I still need to platinum it because of that. But man, um, what else can you say? I don't even know. Like you said everything. You know what I'm saying? Like
Well,
Spider-Man
some of
4.
the villains in the game, the fights that you have with some of the action sequences,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah,
just the things that with Rhino and all the destruction that he causes doing what he does, and it's beautifully realized in 3D. I mean, the graphics in this game cannot be understated. They are incredible. They took it to the next level, and I cannot wait to see what Insomniac has planned for Spider-Man 3 or Spider-Man 2 rather.
yeah, yeah. You're gonna have more Miles Morales. We just had a Miles Morales game, which I still gotta play. But I just got it recently. Uh, Santa gave it for me for Christmas. But yeah, like I love how like it starts off with you going after the Kingpin. You know what I mean? Which they had a book inspired by the game, be, how he got to go get Kingpin and all that. In this book, it explains like it's like the prequel to the game. So when I heard that, I bought that book right away and I read that book. Might be the last novel I actually read, which is sad because I used to love reading novels. But it was like the book was so good. It explains some of the things as you go through the game. You're like, oh, they did that in the book. So they
Right.
connected it pretty well with the book too. So if anybody who hasn't read that book, I forgot exactly what it's called, but it was the prequel to the Spider-Man PS4 game, and phenomenal book, phenomenal. I love the Black Cat in this game, the whole Black Cat thing and all that, and man, all the different costumes you used to you get out of it and stuff like that. Um, am I missing anything? There's so much. Like I said, the Taskmaster, you fighting them and all that. You got to fight them. Um, so I can't wait. Like I have my buddy who says there should have been more boss battles, and I don't know. Like I don't know if you really needed that. But I thought this was fine with storytelling, with Mr. Negative, the whole Mr.
Yeah.
Negative.
Mm,
Oh, it made him look so cool. Dan Slott probably was proud of this freaking game if he got to play it.
mm,
You know what I mean? And what else can you say, guys? Like, so freaking perfect, almost perfect to me. And uh, Steph, anything else? Like you said, it was in your list too. All number
No, I
one
said it
for
all
all of us.
earlier. Like when this game came out, this gave me the feels of playing the earlier Spider-Man games. It was one of the few games that I was just like, I want to get home and play this. That I haven't
mm.
experienced that feeling in a couple of years. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's been
So
a great game.
real quick, Old Will says I remember going to Sears just to play Pong on their game display. That was his excitement. Oh man, watch Sears, Perry said. Maybe he was there. uh, read that book to her fire, yes. And he said better Doc
Mm,
Ock story in the game than even Spider-Man 2, which Spider-Man 2 had a good Doc Ock game. Yeah, I agree, Verno. So yeah, man, what else can you say? Like you said, the Doc Ock story and all that, and him being in the laboratory, and you have to like do all the computer stuff to figure stuff out, and then he
right.
finds out, what happens, and then like all that goes bananas and stuff like that. Guys, what else can we say? Great number one, all our number ones right there. So boom, there goes our top five, guys. I don't know, you guys want to run through it again, or I think we talked
Yeah.
enough. Run through it. All right. So All right, we'll start with this time with Steph. You run through your top five. We'll go the other way since Fable took our number one. You know what I
Uh,
mean?
I mean, Wolverine's Origins, Arkham City, um, Marvel's Capcom 2, X-Men Legends series, and Spider-Man, Marvel Spider-Man PlayStation 4.
Great list.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I guess I'll go next. Because we're going backwards now. Marvel's Capcom 2, Spider-Man and Venom, Maximum Carnage. Is number four. Number three, Batman Arkham Knight. No, Arkham series. I changed it to Arkham series because it was phenomenal. And number two was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the arcade game, which it took a lot for me to put that over the Arkham game. But I remember enjoying the hell out of that game, the way
Right.
more hours than even that game, the Arkham game. So I had to put it at my number two. And as much as I love Ninja Turtles, and then of course number one, PS4. You said it right there. So that's my top five. Faye, what's your top five?
Top five was X Men the arcade game for number five. Number four was Batman Arkham series. Number three was The Walking Dead. Number two was Marvel vs. Capcom series, and number one Marvel Spider Man.
And we got brother Joe. Can you believe we had pinball machines before video games? That was a back in the day like phenomenon. The pinball machines. I
Hmm.
remember
Oh,
being a
I love
kid
pinball machines.
going to pizzeria with my cousin, and they had pinball machine. And not too long after that, the video games they took out the pinball machines in those pizzerias and put video games in them. I don't know if a lot of people in Middle America had pizzerias like that, like here in the main, because you would think they have that, and when you're in the main city, and then I'll go visit some towns, and they're like, "What's a pizzeria?" You know what I mean? Really? Domino's? Like, no, that's not a pizzeria. You know what I'm saying? That Papa John's. So, great segment. I thought I had fun. That was a lot of fun doing that, guys. I hope you guys had fun, but you guys know what time it is. Um, we love it. You know I love it. You know I gotta have it. And then as soon as I find the picture, I'm gonna put it up. Oh, let me wait. You guys know. Let me take this thing off from the top there. There you go. There you go. I'm supposed to be kayfabe when it comes to all that. Forget it. You know what I mean? But you guys, you know I love it. That beautiful sight. Show and
Nice.
tell. Show and tell segment. You know what I mean? That awesome, beautiful sight up in here. Um, I think you guys gonna show more fire than I am. So I'm gonna go first this time on the show and tell. So I'm gonna give myself the floor. Um, so layout, station everyone. I hope you enjoyed the show so far. Of course, if you like the video, hit the thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Ding 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 that bell for notification for future videos so you can go and get more wonderful videos like this one. If you're still watching on the rewind, because I know we're doing pretty good. It's after 10, not bad. Last week it was really bad, but so first I like to we got a brand new pop figure with to add to the family here, and this is the No Way Home Spider-Man. This is the upgraded suit. So
Nice.
and then this one, what he's doing is like it shows you on the picture right there. He has the gliding.
That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. So pretty cool freaking pop figure. Like I could never get tired of getting any Spider-Man or Batman related pop figures. You know what I mean? I got
Right.
the one in the black suit from the that a lot of people didn't like from the movie. And
Yeah,
now I want to get all of them now. So great figure to add to my collection back there, which is getting kind of crowded back there, and I ain't gonna lie. You know what I mean? um another uh pop tees. You know, everybody knows you got the pop figures, they got pop tees. This is how it looks like right here. This is extra large. It doesn't fit me. This is mostly for display.
that's dope. Yeah.
Um, because
That's a
I'm a
T-shirt
3X.
in a
Yeah,
box.
t-shirt in a box that looks like a VHS.
That's
Looks like
awesome,
two
dude. I've
VHS.
seen that before.
Yeah, of course, this is part of the animated series pop figures I showed before. You know what I mean? Which I'll probably show again. But there you go. That's what the T-shirt looks like. This T inside with them three characters from the that just came out from the animated series, and then you see them wearing her on the like it's actual VHS, like you wore the crap out of it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So this was pretty cool. This I had here for a little minute. Figure I showed that one, and keep on keeping on. Everybody knows I'm Hispanic, Puerto Rican, so we celebrate Three Kings. I showed this on Sunday. I was like, let me show it tonight too. So one of the stuff I got, of course, was the Black Widow 4K. You know what I mean, with the
Nice.
shiny, you know,
Foil.
ooh foil. I love foil. You know what I mean? So with one of my favorite new stars in there, she's in there right there, right on this side, right there. You know what I mean? The White Widow. You know what I mean? Florence Puig. So Yolanda Valera. There you go. Did I say it right? Anyway, they got the slip. You know, you gotta get the slip. You know what I'm saying? I got the slip. So had to get Black Widow. I enjoyed the movie. The villain was a little weak. You know what I mean? But I enjoyed so much of the other stuff that I enjoyed the movie enough. Action. Scarlett Johansson. She was awesome in it yet again. Keep on keeping on. This one I'm gonna start reading. I haven't started yet. I have the bookmark in it. The Saga Compendium.
Nice.
Um, yeah, J Rails and Sheena and all of them. I'll cover in the entire series, chapter by chapter, and this is the whole compendium before it starts off in the end of the month again. With issue 55. This is the first 54 issues, and it has like I don't want to like rip the pages, but it's got like awesome moments. I don't know if I'm blowing any spoilers up in here or something like that, but why not? Why not? It's Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples. Awesome. So I can't wait to read that. And these next two omnibuses I got not too long ago. This one I pre-ordered like over a year ago. I had a problem, but they fixed it and they sent it to me finally. But I was waiting a long time for this one. Uh, the What If original series omnibus.
Dope. Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the first cover right there. So this has the What Ifs from 1 all the way to 22. You know what I'm saying? And 1977 is when it started before I was born. And yeah, man, why not? This is a nice little. I have volume 2 pre-ordered too last year. You know what I
Nice.
mean? I'd like to get all the what ifs. Um, I don't know if I able to get the issues by itself because they're kind of getting kind of expensive. But they show you all the issues there. You know what I mean? I don't know if Fargate's still watching, but
I like that
right here.
little wording up there. Kind of cool when you think about it. At the top of the back, yeah. Dawn of the
Uh,
Marvel Multiverse.
yeah, there you go.
Kind of interesting.
Yeah, the original Marvel series because this is the volume 1, and I think it has the whole volume 1, and then volume 2 starts all over again. One, which volume 2 is the one we grew up with, the one they showed, you know, at that time. So last but not least, yeah, I don't have a whole lot today, but I had to show this one because I've been waiting to read this one. I didn't read the whole series. I've read the series after it. Some Brian Michael Bendis goodness right here, and some Alias right here.
Nice.
Nice.
You
Oh
know,
yeah.
Jessica
Wow.
Jones. When I finally saw this, I was like, I have to get this. This was actually the last thing I pre-ordered last year. Um, at the time, and I haven't pre-ordered anything in months. This is how much you wait for these. This one was delayed to like literally last month, and I finally got it. Meet Jessica Jones. Jessica Jones. One of the characters, Fable was talking before, like when he first got into comics and all that, and all those other younger characters. She wasn't as young, but she was a new character too when I came back. And love me some Jessica Jones. Love the series. I thought what's her name? Ritter,
Kristen Ritter.
Christian Ritter played her well, and I can't wait to read this because Brian Michael Bendis, he gets a lot of bad rap for DC, but when he was in Marvel, he was killing it. And I read the series after this, and I enjoy that. So I can't wait to read this one. And then that's it for me, guys. That's it for show and tell. And I guess Fabi, you want to go next, or Steph, Steph.
Oh no, I was just getting my stuff. Yeah, I'm good though.
You want to go next, Steph? Or
Oh, Fabian, go.
all right,
It's cool.
Want me to go?
okay. So Favor goes next. There you
All right, guys.
go.
So for my show and tell, I want since we're talking about video games, I wanted to highlight a genre of video games that I'm particularly fond of, and that genre of video games is called role playing games (RPGs). RPGs have their roots in Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know if a lot of people know that, but Dungeons and Dragons is basically the skeleton for most RPGs in the 70s and 80s. And the Japanese took a real liking to that style of role playing. So they came out with their own RPGs, which are affectionately called JRPGs, Japanese role playing games. So I just wanted to highlight um, some. I don't know if they're lesser known, but when people think of JRPGs, they usually think of Final Fantasy, right? That's like one of the most famous ones out there. But there's so many good ones, and they may be even better than Final Fantasy as far as stories, to be honest with you. So I just wanted to highlight a few that I absolutely love. So first off, I'm going to show off a game that I recently beat, and I love this game, and it's part of a series that's been going on as long as Final Fantasy. In fact, it might be more popular than Final Fantasy in Japan, in its home country, than Final Fantasy is over here. So that would be Dragon Quest.
Nice.
Nice.
There's Dragon Quest 11, and we talked about Dragon Ball Z. Well, guess what? The lead artist on Dragon Quest is and always will be Akira Toriyama, artist of Dragon Ball. Yeah, Dragon Ball. So just wanted to show that, and I also got the definitive edition of that game, which adds a couple of things. So yeah, Dragon Quest, great series. Another series that came out recently that I absolutely fell in love with, and guys, even if you don't like role playing games or Japanese role playing games, please try these. These are this one is absolutely amazing, and that one is Persona 5.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
Nice.
And this one is with the slip.
Oh, the slip.
So beautiful, beautiful game. Great RPG. About a bunch of kids that basically have to fight demons and things like that. So this one is pretty cool. And I also got the definitive version of that game, which is called Persona 5 Royal. It's also Steelbook, Slip, and everything, but I haven't opened it, so I don't actually know what this looks like. But yeah, Persona, great series. Another series I wanted to highlight is Xenoblade Chronicles for the
Nice.
Nintendo Switch. These games are absolutely
Nice.
fantastic. They're some of the best. Like Switch isn't the most graphically powered hardware, like compared to PlayStation and Xbox, but this game like pushes the Switch to the limits. And of course, I gotta mention Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and Xenoblade Chronicle 2 Torna. All three games are fantastic. Totally recommended to
What
RPG fans.
what's Torna? Why is it that one a little different than the
It's
other ones?
basically DLC. Basically DLC
Okay.
that they released on a cartridge instead of. I mean, you could download it too, but I got the physical copy because you know me already. I be
Hell
specking.
yeah. Hacking, bro.
Even on video games, guys. Even on video games. Um, Next series that I want to highlight is a cool little series. If you ever heard of Studio Ghibli, they make games like they make animated films like Princess Mononoke,
That one
Spirited
witch game.
Away. Yeah. So I want to highlight a game that they worked on, JRPG called Nino
Oh,
Kuni.
two. Is that number two, or is that the first one?
This is number 2,
Okay.
and of course, Steelbook Edition.
Nice.
Beautiful art, and of course, I got Nino Kuni number 1,
Nice.
Nice.
Steelbook Edition, of
Looks
course.
just like a Ghibli movie.
Yeah, just fantastic, fantastic graphics and animation. Beautiful. Um, Now we're getting a little less known. This is another series that's been around as long, if not longer, than Final Fantasy. And this series is called Ys. YS. And this is Ys
Oh yeah.
8. So this is the 8th game. Lets you know how long this thing's been around.
Bro, Cryo's loving you right now, bro. Cryo's loving you. He said fire.
Ys Lacrimosa of Dana. Fantastic JRPG. Definitely recommend this to anybody. And you know, if you ever want to go back and see what the first game was kind of like, they did re-release a remade version of Part One called Ys Origin, which is another great remake of the original game, which came out in the early '80s. Fantastic. And the last series I wanted to highlight is a series that this is probably one of the only RPGs I've ever played, because most RPGs, even though they're numbered, they're still separate games, right? Like Final Fantasy VII is a totally different world, characters, everything than Final Fantasy VIII, than Final Fantasy IX, and you know what I mean, and so on. Same thing with Dragon Quest. Uh, it's just different universes, even though it has the same title. They share monsters, they share names, but totally different universes. But this JRPG, this one continues one after the other, and it's a whole epic saga. And that series is called Trails of Cold Steel
Sweet.
from Falcon Games. This game is fantastic. It tells a giant story about these students that get caught up in this political drama in the world that they're from. They're at civil wars with other countries, and it seems like even though they're the children, they're the only adults in the room. So,
Wow.
of course, special edition. And, of course, it continues into Trails of Cold Steel 2. Also a special edition. And then we've got Trails of Cold Steel 3,
Jeez.
which I got the special edition for. Fantastic.
What the special edition has? Like,
Well, it comes with a bunch of little things in it, little stickers and cards, and they all come in steel books.
nice.
So there's Trails of Cold Steel 1. Beautiful, beautiful steel case. Trails of Cold Steel 2. Also, beautiful case.
Ooh, shiny.
And Trails of Cold Steel 3.
Oh my God! You didn't tell me I needed sunglasses.
And the latest game I have not gotten a chance to play, but I do have it, and that is Trails of Cold Steel 4.
Nice.
Special edition, of course. Still sealed. So I'm going to crack this bad boy open one day and play it. That's my show and tell.
Oh, bing, 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 bing. Yeah. Steph, you ready?
Oh, yeah.
Ready for the curtain? You're up, my man.
I figured I'd bless you guys with something. So I don't really ever show this, but today I figured it was a special day since it's like a first episode kind of thing. So it's
Nice.
the best Robin.
It's the first time you ever showed that.
Yeah, that one's a special occasion. I have a few games, but I found this. I was doing some cleaning, but like long ago when I was a young man. I was like 22, but I was going to California for the first time, and I got to like be like my cousin was working for 20th Century Fox at the time, and I got to like go in on a table read and meet like Seth MacFarlane and the guy who did the voice for like Cleveland, but like a little script, like this
Dynamite.
What?
Yeah.
Yo, no way.
Episode.
No.
I guess I wasn't supposed to take this, but they never stopped me. Like my cousin, when I got home, he was like, they let you take that? I was like, yeah. I just walked right out with it. He was like, usually they don't They don't usually do that. And I was like, well, I mean, it is what it is. But
Yo,
it's just a cool little memento, you know.
Holy shit!
From a TV show. Oh, shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mic drop. Boom.
No.
Yeah.
But
There's a reason why he went
game
last.
wise, I got a few games. I don't have the cases right now. I got to find them, but I do have.
I still can't get over that. I'm sorry. I need a minute. Yeah, that Spider-Man game, man. Woo.
Hell yeah.
Love that
PlayStation.
game.
The OG.
Little Caesars, I don't hear too many people talk about, but I feel it's underrated. I was talking to you about it earlier. Fable was Fear Effect.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Awesome. Underrated game.
It was you played as like 4 characters. 3 of them were assassins, though one of them wasn't an assassin. And it was like one of the first cell shaded games, but it was for PlayStation.
Yeah.
Not PlayStation 2.
Seriously underrated. Oh, yeah.
I saw Crowd mention this earlier, so I thought I'd toss this bad boy out.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Yeah, man.
Clover Studios Okami. That's another great game they did. Fable was talking about the Xeno stuff. I do have Xeno Gears on my phone, but Xeno
Nice.
Saga.
Hell
too.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember all those. Seeing the
That was like the first JRPG that had like legit 10-minute cutscenes. Like 10, 15-minute cutscenes. It's like real.
I wish you guys ever play Star Ocean 3?
Yes.
That's my jam. I love Star Ocean 3. You were talking about JRPGs earlier being better than Final Fantasy, and this is also Akira Toriyama. So I figured I'd toss this one out.
That's
Trigger.
classic, bro. Classic.
But for the PlayStation.
PlayStation.
And some of my personal favorites, we got Mega Man Legends.
Yes.
Ooh.
Great game. Me and my little brother
Mega Man
played that
Legends
for
2.
a long time. Nice.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, he beat them all. I
Misadventures
did
of
it.
Trombone. It's a spin-off to...
Nice.
Snap.
I loved
You
this
might want to
game.
hold on to that one, brother.
Yeah, no, this actually, I think the first Mega Man Legends is going for some money too, but I know Misadventures of Trombone is a low print game, and this is another low print. It's very similar to Trombone.
Oh, Till Concerto. Yeah, man. There we go. Nice.
This was a fun, yeah. I dug those 3D platformers almost back in the day, so quite a few of those. That's my show and tell for the day.
Man, you had me at Family Guy. I'm still
Script,
like,
right?
yeah, I'm still at odd. I'm just like, what?
That's it. That's
Actually,
the trick. You get a little kid and they go steal scripts for you.
Yeah. I had actually met Seth MacFarlane twice in like the same week because I met him at the table read, and I went to the Teen Choice Awards. I was 22, but my cousin had free passes. I was like, why not? I was actually on TV for a little bit, but
Nice.
I ended up running into Seth again, or Mr. MacFarlane, and I was like, oh yeah, I was actually at one of your table reads. I was like, I still have the script, and he's like, you do? I was like, yeah, and that was just it. Yeah, I guess he let it slide, but he kind of.
He called one of the lawyers right after.
Yeah, God damn it, you guys let this
stuff. Oh man, what episode was that script again?
It was Powerball Fever. I'm trying to see if it says like the script. 9A. I wonder if that 9 means season 9.
Right.
Could be.
But yeah, the episode was called Powerball Fever.
Oh.
And I only went to this because I thought Mila Kunis was gonna be there, which she wasn't, and I was so disappointed, bro. So disappointed. I was gonna shoot my shot.
Damn. You could have had.
I was 22, young and rambunctious.
You could have, yeah. You might have had a chance, man.
Yeah. All right, man. That was show and tell. That was top 5 uh comic related games, you know what I mean, inspired games, and that was the show. So that was an amazing show. I hope everybody had fun. We got a little less than 4 hours, a little less than 4 hours this time, right? 2 hours. Oh man, and I was like, yeah, well, we might go short this time, and we still managed to get 2 hours into this
Wow.
tonight. You know what I mean? That's what we do. We talk, and it's just three of us today. So, you know what I'm saying? Everybody was like loving your stuff. Um, all of y'all, man. I'm just honored to be here with you guys and talk with everybody here on Whiplash Wednesday, New Comic Book Day, Christmas every week for us, 52 times in the year. And of course, before we get out of here, I'm going to mention that I do have a poll coming up for today's books. They get my books. Um Normally I go on tomorrow. I think it's 3 or 4 p.m. I'll keep you guys posted. I got talk to I might have a couple of guests. Apparently I might have a couple of guests with me tomorrow for this show. Um yeah, I can't wait to I always love doing the whole videos, whether I do it by myself or have people on there. And of course, me and the fellas here will be back. We'll be back and better than ever. Cause as soon as I can find the thumbnail, this Sunday on the hashtag Blame
Mm.
Fable Tonight Show, we have another special guest. You know what I mean? Azores Tigers returns this time on the Blame Fable Tonight Show because we did have him on the original show, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir.
Um,
Right.
Sunday, January 16th, 2022. This Sunday, special guest Azores Tiger. And what movie are we covering, guys?
The Raid Redemption.
The
Mm.
Ray Redemption, which I haven't seen yet. And I decided because I saw the site that was given to me by you, and then I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna just rent it. I'm going to rent it.
I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did opt with that choice because that way you don't got to deal with like subtitles and you know add no pop ups and great quality.
I don't do good with trying to watch a movie and read. You know what I mean?
I feel that.
That's why I got comic books, so I can I can read, look at the picture, but I'm trying to look at the picture and see what's going on, and then
I'm
reading.
missing stuff.
I
Yeah,
can't do it, guys. I can't do it. I don't know, man. My sister-in-law does that
I
like
used
a
to be able
master.
to. I
You know
used
what I
to.
mean? With the manga and the anime and stuff, like they're related. So but cry, don't yell at me, don't yell at me. But but yeah, I can't wait to dig that. I'm a little bit skeptical of this movie because I was just like I never heard of it, so I'm just like
Never heard of? Whoa,
never
you'll
heard
love
of
it.
it.
You'll
Oh
love it.
man, you're in for a treat, Herb.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, but then again, I trust you guys, and you guys know me. You probably know I'm gonna enjoy it, and then be like, you guys did
You
it to
know
me
what? I'm
again.
gonna be honest with you. I don't think Azorus has seen it either. It might be his first time watching it.
Oh,
Yeah,
Doris,
because
nice.
I mentioned it to him, and he was like, "Well, where can I find it?" And I'm like, "What do you mean? Like you never seen the raid?" So,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And it's the
I'm looking forward to it.
anybody trying to find this movie, want to watch it with us, the Raid Redemption,
Yes,
the
the
Raid
Raid Redemption.
Redemption. Cause you go to Raid, there's another Raid
There's
movie
so many
that came
different. Yeah,
out
there's so many.
later, and I would have watched. Can you imagine? I would have just gone in there, watched the wrong movie. Yeah,
Herm's like,
remember that
so
time when
this.
the boobs came out, and it's
Yeah,
like,
he was like, this
what?
wasn't a romance movie. Like, yeah,
What?
like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think the other one's like a romance comedy or some shit. Like,
You know what I mean? Kim Kardashian wasn't in it. What? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I can't wait to do that this Sunday. Next week, let's talk about it. 8:30 p.m. This is my generic because we don't have a thumbnail for it. Next week, I don't know if we do anything video games. We might. That might be bi-weekly, but next week we are doing the new segment, my version of the segment. You know what I mean? Like all of us talking, but we're gonna do like three recent reads for us. It could be anything. Anybody out there wants to
yeah,
talk about any recent reads for you in the chat, you could do it. But three recent reads for us. That's gonna be our main thing for next week because I want to try to get back into talking about comic books and with my fellas here because we have awesome comic book related conversations too. So we like this is a pop culture philosophers where we came from. You know what I mean? Like a lot of us met. So we do anything pop culture with the movies and all that. So we want to bring the comic books back. So I figured three would be pretty good.
Yeah.
Our three most recent read doesn't have to be top. Could be anything. It could be something that came out 5 years ago, something that came out this week. So that's pretty much what I want to do for next week for us. That's gonna be the main focus. And then may of course we always gonna do show and tell. You know what I'm saying? That's always gonna be in. Oh, whoa, whoa, and whatever we didn't discuss on Sunday, we probably discuss on Wednesday, and later and soon it will be more segments where we'll have the books we're reading. You know what I'm saying? We'll have the games, and then we'll have another segment that we're working on that me and Stef Phable is working on. With we're gonna watch a show, and Stef, you remember what show we wanted to watch? One of the shows. It might not be next week, but in 2 weeks maybe we'll finally
Yes.
get the show.
We're gonna going back to watching an old classic, Battlestar Galactica, not the '70s version, but the early 2000s, the good one, as they would say.
The good
But
one.
yeah, that's a very underrated show. Very great piece of sci-fi. Station Room. And
Yeah, if you never watched Battlestar Galactica, man, when
yeah,
we
you're in for
start
a treat.
doing this, it would be a perfect time to start, man, and you can watch it
Yes.
with us.
And
And
it's on the you can watch it for free on the Peacock app.
Peacock
look at
app.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have that
Nice.
app. Yes. So yeah. So there you go. Battlestar Galactica. I don't know. Were we starting with one episode? We're starting with two. Like doing two at a time. Like, since we do movies, what else we could do
I
two,
know the
right?
pilot is like an hour and a half long, so we'll just start with like the pilot first
Okay.
and see
Okay.
how it flows, and we'll kind of see what the audience. Well, let's see what the audience prefers. Whether are they comfortable doing 2 episodes with us or something like that. We'll iron it out.
Yeah. So
Right.
that one. So next week we'll do the comic book, and then 2 weeks we'll be back, and we'll do Battlestar Galactica. We'll finally uh debut the TV show version of this show. Because we, like I said, pop culture, we like to cover everything. So again, thanks everyone, you know what I'm saying, for joining us tonight. Um I guess I met a lot of join us again Whiplash Wednesday. Everybody that's in Whiplash Wednesday, between Nick Comic Culture, TM Nerdy, Comic Kings, Brando, you know what I'm saying? Chamorro Cinema, the artist formerly known as Chamorro Cinema.
Maybe.
You know what I'm saying? I got Manny and all that. And as we keep on keeping on our Whiplash Wednesdays and all that, I hope everyone has a fantastic weekend. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy your weekend. I know it's Wednesday. We still got a couple of days to the weekend. But, I'll say it ahead of time. Enjoy the weekend. I'll be back with another haul video during the week. And then, of course, keep. Uh, what else do we got? What else? Oh, we're going home. So, love you guys. You guys know I'll take forever. Station to you all. Until next time. Peace out. Peace out. Love, 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 love.